I kind of enjoyed the process of storytelling, but then when it came to doing the Muse film, the documentary film, that's when I really fell in love with it. Because then I started falling in love with the process of actually writing out the chapters and then, kind of structuring things visually and so forth. And then to see the reaction that we received from people from the film of saying how much it impacted them, then that just really centered my focus. Is write content that a child can understand and digest, but also have the messaging be at such a level that professional athletes can understand and learn something from. Because these are experiences and things that I've gone through and learned from. So at the end of the basketball breakdown, when I say, reading the game will make you a good player, understanding what you're reading will make you a great player. But if you can write the game that others read, you become a champion. Right? And that's a different level of understanding where you're not reacting to situations, but you're the one creating the situations that others react to, right? That is the whole key.
Right? Like for these young men in the story, they have fears that they've consciously or subconsciously suppressed. And those fears manifest themselves in different ways, and we see it manifest through the game. So what they have to learn within the novel is to have the bravery and the courage to face those fears. And then they can decide what they want to do with them, right? But at least they have the power over their fear versus the other way around. There, you can see them. Whereas, when I started playing, many years ago, you'd have to wait till the next morning to get the newspaper and see what. Now you go on social media and you get inundated with that pressure and criticism and all that sort of stuff. But still in all, it comes with the territory, right? You can't please everybody. All you can do is do the best you can. Just accept it and move on with it. Can't lose sight of that. It's not what people think of you, right? But it's the game. Are you leading the team the right way? Are you doing the necessary things to study your craft to put your team in the best possible situation to be champions? That's the only thing that matters. Criticism is going to come and go, right? You can have a great game on Monday, everybody loves you. Have a horrible game on Tuesday, you're the worst. Right? And so to play with one franchise, and also it's a two-way street, right? You can have an athlete that wants to be
and gives him a better understanding of what's motivating you, or what your insecurities are, right? And then it just helps him communicate with you better, or even push a button here if he needs to. But in the East, we can dominate them inside with Shaq in the post. But if you continue to do this, we'll lose Shaq, we'll lose him. But what if today is the day that's it? Now what do you do? So I had all this time sitting there with my Achilles injury and contemplating and thinking, and yeah, it's funny. Movies, there are plenty, but there's a quote from one of my English teachers at Lower Merion named Mr. Fisk. He had a great quote that said, "Rest at the end, not in the middle." And that's something I always live by. I'm not gonna rest, I'm gonna keep on pushing now. There are a lot of answers that I don't have, even questions that I don't have. But I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep going, and I'll figure these things out as we go, right? And you just continue to build that way. So I try to live by that all the time, because it means you have different ways to get better. There's certain things that you can figure out that you can take advantage of.
And but I realized I hadn't really had a chance to speak to the game itself, and so I decided that was going to be my focus. And once I had that focus, the words came pretty quickly. I actually wrote 2 drafts within about 30 minutes. And the first one was more confrontational in nature, because it felt like the game was trying to tell me you need me, and you can't walk away from this. This is who you are. And so the first tone was more confrontational. It was like, no, I can walk away from you. I can do something without you, And then like in every argument, you kind of calm down and you start seeing all the beautiful things that you've learned from the game, which is the second draft that you guys hear now. But I wanted to make sure it was visual. So it's easy to tell the game, I love you so much. But instead, I wanted to paint a picture with that. So if a kid is rolling his dad's stinky tube socks up, chances are you love the game enough to do that, So it's trying to say things visually. And fortunate enough, Glenn Keane believed in the vision, and John Williams believed in the vision, and turned it into an animated film.